Parallel line theorems. Remember the angle properties we've already established. The sum of angles on a straight line adds to 180 degrees. The sum of angles in a right angle add to 90 degrees. And opposite angles are equal. Things we should already know. If I look at these parallel lines and I look at the transversal here that cuts through them, there's a few relationships we should already be aware of. Interior alternate angles are angles that are in between the parallel lines, so in between these two lines, and on opposite sides of the transversal. So if you look at the Z that's created with the green line, angle C and angle E are interior alternate angles. And if you look at the red Z, angle D and angle F are interior opposite angles. Exterior alternate angles are angles that are outside the parallel line on opposite sides of the transversal. For example, if I look at outside, angle A is outside the parallel line on the left of the transversal, and if I move to the right side and to the other side of the parallel line, that would be equal to angle G. Similarly, angle B is above the parallel line to the right of the transversal. So when I go to the left and below the other parallel line, that's equal to angle H, and they are exterior alternate angles. Wow, look at all the colors there. Those are corresponding angles. They're in the same position on both parallel lines. So if I look, angle A and angle E are above the parallel line on the left side of the transversal, and they are equal. Angle B and angle F are both on the right side of the transversal above the parallel line. They are also equal. If I look at the upside down at pink F, angle B and F are both above the parallel line on the right of the transversal. And if I look at the green letter F, A and E are both to the left of the transversal above the parallel line. They are all corresponding angles. Co-interior angles are angles in between the parallel lines on the same side of the transversal, and they add to 180. So if I look in between on the right side of the transversal, angle C and F add to 180, angle D and E add to 180. So pause the video and copy this summary into your notebook so that you have it to work with on your homework. Example, determine the values of the unknowns in the following diagrams. I want the unknowns, and I want to state the geometric properties used. So if I want to find y, I can look and see that they are on the same side of the transversal, and they're both below the parallel line. Well, that means they are, in fact, corresponding angles. Now they've changed locations. I've got 75 underneath one and above the other parallel line on the same sides of the transversal. Pause the video and look at the note you copied and decide what type of angles they are. Hopefully you realize that they are co-interior angles, so we can add 75 and y to get a sum of 180. Now in order to solve for y, we have to subtract 75 from both sides, and we end up with y equals 105 degrees. Part C, below the transversal, below the parallel line, above the parallel line here, on opposite sides of the transversal. Those are what are called, pause the video, try and do it yourself, and hopefully you got alternate angles. And I know that alternate angles are equal, so I need to solve the equation 3x minus 51 is 75 by adding 51 to both sides. And in order to get x by itself, I have to share 126 degrees between all three of them to get x is 42 degrees.